So as Pilcher mentioned in the Pattern of Life written in 2015, sleep improves our memory function, our daytime performance, resets our emotional system, recovers our body, and allows us to have a new day each morning. So we all like to sleep. It's a daily thing we do, but do we all know the cycle behind it, or like what goes through our mind as we're sleeping? Because I know I did not know that before I did this research. So in an article called Stages of Sleep, it was last updated in December 2018, Kushner reported that toddlers and preschool, ages 3 to 6, they tend to sleep 9.5 to 10 hours. 25% of their sleep happens in stage 3, and it also happens in the REM stage, which is stage 5. And they also tend to have one nap throughout the day. And then as school-age students, which is the age from 6 to 12, they tend to sleep from 9 to 10 hours as well. As well as adolescents, they tend to sleep 9 to 10 hours, although most of the sleep happens in the morning because they tend to stay up late at night, like doing their own thing, like homework or just doing their own thing. And then as you get as an adult, you tend to reduce the amount of time of sleep you have, so it lowers from 6.5 to 8 hours of sleep because you're trying to like wake up and accomplish your goals, go to work, and do whatever you have to do for that day. And then Wolfen wrote another article called Sleep Schedule in Daytime Function in Adolescence. And this article supported what Kushner wrote in the previous article, although it focused more on like the weekend sleep and the weekday sleep. And it shows how we tend to sleep 30 to 60 minutes more in the weekend. And then after the age of 18, we tend to sleep more, which is like 2 hours more. And I'm pretty sure like most of us have experienced it because I know I have for sure. And then, but it's not all about age. It's based on the weight too. So in 2008, there was an article called Overweight Children Have Shorter and Less Efficient Sleep Patterns, which the title kind of mentions everything. So basically it was an experiment where they had a lot of kids come over to a place, like it was a house, and they stayed there for like about a week. And then the researchers were observing the kids at night, and then they came up with the result that obese children actually tend to wake up 22 minutes before the people that consider normal weight, which was actually very interesting to them because obese people tend to wake up because they have like trouble sleeping with the breathing and stuff. And then in 2015, Hendrickson reported another experiment on an article called Sleep Damn It. This article wasn't about weight, but it was more about like the sleep schedule. And then so this experiment was on a man. He had to reduce the amount of sleep he had like each day. So the first day he started off with what's called the regular sleep schedule, which is 7 to 8 hours. But this to him felt like it was like too much sleep. He could not sleep throughout the 8 hours. And then by day 5, he had to sleep 6 hours. And this to him was he like would wake up each morning. He had enough time to get ready. He had time to pick out his outfit. He had time to drink coffee. He was able to do everything. And then by day 8, he had to sleep about 4 to 5 hours, which to him was very hard. He was like dragging along the day. He had to have caffeine like every 3 hours, and that did not seem like the right fit for him. So they came up with the experience. The experiment told them that the ideal schedule is like 6 hours and then a 30-minute nap during the day, which to a lot of people seems to work out. A lot of people don't, like usually sleep 6 hours. So you probably are wondering like what are the stages of sleep? So as you can see here, the National Sleep Foundation actually wrote an article called Understanding Sleep Cycle to clarify the 5 stages of sleep. So the first stage is the light sleep, and where you could be like easily awakened. This stage usually takes about 7 minutes, which is usually called the cat nap stage. And then after that stage, you move on to stage 2, which is the eye movement and brain waves slowing, where the brain waves are slowing down. This is usually considered the power nap stage. So whenever you say like I want to take a power nap, you usually wake up after stage 2, which is like about like 20 minutes. And then after that, you move on to stage 3 and 4, which are kind of like alike. This is where the delta waves begin to appear, and then the deep sleep it's difficult to wake up. And then these stages are the ones where your muscles are repairing and you're getting that energy for the next day. And then after the 4 stages, you move on to the REM stage, which stands for the rapid eye movement stage. And this is where your breathing becomes heavier and irregular. This is a 90-minute cycle, which you have a cycle of 5 to 6 cycles that are 90 minutes, so that's why you sleep like 6 to 8 hours. And then this is the stage where you dream the most, and that it's like really hard to like wake up and everything. So whenever you're in that stage, like you're basically like completely asleep. So that's like the last stage. So then let's move on to the stages. This like gives a clear explanation. So I got this picture from the article Your Sleep Cycle Revealed that was written in 2013 by Gordon. So this picture shows you how the percentages on the top. So stage 1 is 4 to 5% of the duration of the sleep throughout the night. And then stage 2 is 45 to 55% of the duration of the sleep. Stage 3 is 4 to 6%. Stage 4 is 12 to 15%, and then stage 5 is 20 to 25%. So we can see how like stage 2 is 45, it's like the most. And this is because this is the time of your sleep where you're like relaxing and you're like trying to fall asleep, but you're not completely asleep yet. So you're like easily awakened. So, and then a lot of people, like as I was reading the articles, I noticed that a lot of people get confused between the NREM stage, which is the non-rapid eye movement, and the movement to the stage 5, which is the rapid eye movement. So from the movement from stages 4 to 5, a lot of people think it's like really confusing because you go from like not sleeping to like falling completely asleep. So a lot of people actually relate this to dogs. So if you ever like look at a dog and you see like the side view of it, if you see the whiskers like twitching, that means it's like moving from stage 4 to stage 5, which is really interesting because I'm pretty sure we all have dogs, but we never like realize like what like stage they're in of sleeping. So next time you like look at someone sleeping, like you probably are gonna be wondering like what stage of sleep they're in, because I knew like before I did not know like that we have stages. Like I knew we have stages, but I didn't know like exactly what stages, like how many we had and like what exactly they meant. So next time you look at someone, like try to like guess what kind of stage they're in. Can you easily like wake them up, or are they like deep asleep? And then next time you're around the dog, like check if you can see if the whiskers are like twitching, because then that will indicate that he's moving from stage 4 to